Hello and welcome to the GiveSendGo Spotlight. We're so excited that you're joining us today to hear of how people around the world are shining brightly and making a difference in their world. That's one of the reasons that GiveSendGo was even started, to allow a platform for people to go out and not just raise money, but to also share hope. The hope that we know is found in Jesus. And so today I have some great people on. I'm really excited to hear their story. Vivian and Rosita, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves?
I'll start. My family moved to La Serena, Chile in 2014. And that's where we started to see needs. And where we're at with the campaign for Ezekiel and Sofia is a result of a progression of just volunteer work while we were living there for other reasons.
All right. And Rosita, how are you connected to this story?
Well, I met Vivian at church. How many years ago? 3, perhaps.
Yeah.
I saw you many years ago, but then we really got in touch about 2 or 3 years ago with the backpack campaign, Mochilas para el Éxito, success backpack campaign. And we've been talking back and forth between what we do at church and the church she was attending. And of course, there is much need in my country, but not only from the material standpoint, but spiritually speaking. I mean, people are void, and if there's something you can really offer, it's just hope in Jesus. I think you have that, and you have everything. Everything just counts on from there on. And Vivian left a few months ago to her home country, and she's asked me to just help around here, and I'm really excited. I'm very grateful to God to start with.
Yes.
It's a lot of responsibility, and I know I just can rely on Jesus to do it.
Well, that is awesome. We love to hear stories of people stepping up into what God has put in front of them, because so often there are needs and things happening around us, and we choose to not really look at them because we think, oh, it's going to be too hard, or how much work, or I'm not qualified. And when we hear stories of people saying, listen, I'm just here to be used by God however you want me. I might not know everything. I might fail at some points, but I trust that God has put this in front of me in order to step in and make a difference. And we love stories like this. So tell me how you met. Do you know Sofia? And I want to say Ezekiel, because that's how we pronounce it. How do you say it?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. How do you, do they go to church with you, or are they people you know?
We started delivering food boxes to elderly and disabled in October of 2017. Okay. And this most amazing elder at the Baptist church in this really poor, kind of drug-infested community that we were working with, told me one time in July of 2018, when we were delivering boxes, that he knew of a family that did not have anything at the moment because everybody was out of work. And it was a family of 5. And could we just manage one more box? And that's kind of what Rosamel did. Can we just do one more backpack or one more little box? And so we started bringing food to Ezekiel and Sofia, got to know their story a little bit. Sophia's hip pain increased over the time that we knew her, and her mobility became more and more reduced. So, and then circumstances in Chile got even rougher with riots, and then with COVID, and less and less work for the people who had no cushion at all. And Ezekiel and Sofia and their family of 5 they were one of those. And we started trying to get an idea of how to help more, because a food box wasn't going to go very far. And so one of the things we started doing was collecting donations during the riots to be able to buy like bulk potatoes, bulk lettuce, bulk carrots, anything that Ezekiel could sell on the street corner. And him and and some others as well, some Venezuelan immigrants and people living in, what they call tomas in Chile that are, no electricity, no water, and families living on hillsides there. So a few of those we started helping, and our family spent a considerable amount of time with Ezekiel and Sofia. We would take their children places when we could. And I kept thinking that we just needed to do more. I mean, giving food boxes was great for the elderly that couldn't do anything. But for people like Ezekiel and Sofia that wanted to do more, what could we do? And I approached them about the idea of doing a kiosk. I'm like, it can't cost that much money to build one of those little kiosks and get that going. Well, it's a lot more complicated than that. And it took them about 9 months to get the permit. They could only get the permit based on Sophia's disability and proving that with medically. And so that took some time, but they were able to get the permit. And then we found out the specifications that it had to be followed. And it was just too much money to easily raise on our own. And so that's just kind of how this got started, is how can we do this? Rosita has been there with some of the money that we left behind, was able to buy Sofia a mixer, because otherwise she was doing everything by hand to make, I don't even know how many donuts, hundreds and hundreds of donuts every day.
Yeah, so that was, so I pull up your campaign because I know we're going to be getting on this interview, and all I see at the top is the first time in the thousands of campaigns I've looked at is I'm like, oh, there's donuts. Okay. Usually there's a picture of a person or something like that. And I was like, oh, there's donuts. Okay. What is this about? And then as reading the story and hearing them, making the donuts and then just wanting to go and sell them to make a living, what an incredible story, of them saying, we're not going to just sit by and take a handout. We actually want to earn a living and be productive. So you're trying to raise $3,000 to be able to, from what I understood, help get this kiosk built to the specifications that the government requires for them to have, because they can't just sell it on the side of the road. They are now needing to have a place. If they're going to sell something, they need to actually have some sort of location or building, and they need to. And so for $3,000, or, I see $4,000 and $3,000. So between that amount, that's how much it will cost for them to make their own stand. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
the stands in Chile are these green kiosks of different sizes, but they all basically look the same, and they're on various different street corners, and they use them for different things. We've seen people make and sell empanadas out of them. They'll make smoothies, or it's just whatever their creativity can muster up. And a lot of people sell fruits and vegetables from them. They fix eyeglasses from them. So they're going to be able to not only sell donuts from them, newspapers, but whatever need presents themselves, they're going to be able to be opportunistic and take advantage of the need of the day and capitalize on that, and provide a convenient service for people as well.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, when we think like building here, like a storefront type building, it's more like a stand that sits on the road that they can sell from whatever goods they have is kind of what okay. So right. I can see that you've raised $575. How did you hear about GiveSendGo? Why did you choose GiveSendGo to do fundraising? Do you even remember?
No, well, my sister-in-law did.
Okay.
So my sister-in-law has been an enormous help for us. Just she, I think, used to be like an administrative assistant for some president of a corporation. And so she's just really quick and great with being able to pump those things out. And it's just a matter of all of us kind of finding a niche of where we're at. I'm really great at coming up with ideas, and trying to find ways to implement them, but somebody else is much better at managing the paperwork and the coordination, just the background coordination. So that's where my sister-in-law comes in.
All right. And so as people are watching this video, across the bottom will be the link to your campaign so people can find it easily. And it's GiveSendGo.com/ and how we would say Ezekiel or
Ezekiel.
I put Ezekiel and Sofia, all one word. And so Ezekiel and Sofia, for those of you who would, need the US pronunciation of spelling it. But that's where you can find this campaign so that you can donate to it. Now on GiveSendGo, you could have chosen a different crowdfunding platform, but GiveSendGo is really the only platform that I know of that has a pray now button as well. And I can see that you've had some prayers as well. And have people left messages? Have you heard if anybody's left any messages?
Yeah, my sister-in-law has been in contact with somebody who has committed to be a prayer partner for the campaign.
Awesome. So we do have we actually have a whole team of people that we hire to call people and pray with them and pray for their campaign. And so that must have been one of our prayer partners that said, hey, I will commit to praying for this campaign. And I'm glad they reached out to her. But people can also come. So if you're reading this and you say, okay, you know what, I could give to this. I could give $20. I could give $50, $100, whatever it is. I'm sure any amount helps because it just helps reach toward that goal. And then we also have recurring donations. So if someone says, listen, this year for 2022, maybe I'll give $22 a month to help this campaign in 2022, to help this family be able to support themselves, to be able to do what is needed to take care of their family. And you can set that up very easily. Just go and hit give now. Say you're going to give for 12 months, $22 or $10, whatever the amount you can. Now, if you can't give anything, because there are people and there are times in all of our lives where finances are tight and we just don't even have enough to pay our own bills. If you're in that situation, I still encourage you to come to this campaign and click on that pray now button and leave a prayer message. Spend some time praying for this mission because God really is the one who provides for all our needs, but he uses people like us. And so the cool thing about this, and when I do spotlights, it's really exciting to me because I can't be in Peru or Chile right now, right? I can't travel. I have little children, things like that. But God allows me to have a little part of what you're doing by offering a platform where you can fundraise. And I love that. I love that's how the body of Christ works, right? And so there are people who are watching that says, I might not be able to go, but I could go and give some money. And then they're part of your story. And when we get to heaven and we see people that are affected because of our donation or our choosing to pray or go, what an exciting thing to watch how God uses the whole body to work together to make a difference. So right now, I know you're raising money for Sofia and now I'm like Ezekiel. And once they raise money, will you continue to find families to help? Or is this like a one-time, hey, this is just somebody God placed in her lap?
No.
What are your goals here? Yeah, what are your goals?
No, this is kind of like our beginning, our test ground, what can we do? I mean, we sincerely hope that this will inspire others. And I'm really glad that you asked that, because not only is this really important to us to help these people, because we can make a difference in their lives and make things a lot easier for them. But there is what I felt strongly when we started going back to the elderly food boxes, 400,000 people, 400,000 elderly living on $100 a month in Chile and trying to support themselves in a modern country with a vibrant economy that hasn't caught up to their level of need. And it was like, I can't do anything about 400,000 people, but we can make a difference in a few lives, and it'll be a huge difference in their lives. And we had really hoped as we started this, to inspire others around us that it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a government fixing things. It doesn't take, and what we could do could probably mean a lot more to people if we could just consistently touch the lives of others around us in our community and connect with people. And I would love that more than anything for the people of the community of La Serena, because for me, it has been life-changing to be able to walk into the homes of people like Ezekiel and Sofia and many others that we were able to help, walk into their homes monthly, sometimes weekly, sometimes, whatever the need was, we tried to be there because we could go into their homes, we could pray with them, we could hug them, we saw hearts change from being, that cultural divide there. Some, not only was I a foreigner, but we were of a different class, and being of that different social class is kind of a stressful thing. So, come in with children. A lot of times we would try to bring other people from the community when we would go around and make these visits, so we could touch the lives of the people that were giving as well. Because I feel like it's not just, this isn't just helping Ezekiel and Sofia, it's helping others down the road. And hopefully it's changing all of our hearts.
Yes, absolutely. And that, when we started GiveSendGo 7 years ago, that was kind of our goal, is to say, we don't have to go and change the whole world. We need to meet the needs in front of us. And it sounds to be exactly what you're doing, is you're saying, hey, God put some needs in front of us and we're stepping up to
Yes.
And we love that. And that you're going to continue walking that out and say, God, put the people in front of us that you want us to be able to help. And I hope, that GiveSendGo will be a part of your mission going forward. I love that this is called the Armchair Mission Opportunity, because it is, not all of us can travel, especially with COVID. There's so many restrictions and things. So even if you wanted to, a lot of times you wouldn't be able to get to some of these other countries. But this is a chance in 2022 to be a giver. Now, a lot of people ask when they come on GiveSendGo, how can I have a successful campaign, right? Like, how do I become successful? And I said, well, there's only one way to guarantee that you'll have a successful campaign. And they lean in to hear that. What's the trick, right? And I said, the way you have a successful campaign is that you be a giver in your life. And then when you have a need, people will give to you. Because if you've always given, then when it's time that you have something's hard or you need something, people are happy to give to you because you've always been a giver. And so here's a way, if you go, I'm not sure if I'm a giver. Well, here's a way to start being a giver, to say, God, I'm going to hold loosely what you give me. And I'm going to, maybe this video came down on your screen just so that you would have an opportunity to give, so that you would have an opportunity to be a giver and experience giving to somebody that you might never meet in person. And that selflessness of saying, it doesn't matter the outcome, I'm just going to be obedient. And so thank you, ladies, for being obedient. Thank you for stepping out, for being aware of the needs. That's really hard to get through people's heads. Put your phone down, look around. There are people around you hurting and needing the hope that we have, and we're so busy. And so thank you for paying attention to the needs around you, and then not just acknowledging them, not just saying, hey, well, I hope you get better, or I hope you do well, like the Bible says. No, you go in and you help. We say at GiveSendGo that hope and help go hand in hand. People will be way more apt to want to listen to the hope we bring about Jesus when we're helping them, versus just trying to shove some theological debate down their throat. When we step into their situation, love on them and help them, then they'll actually believe the hope that we want to share with them. So thank you, ladies. Any last words before we go?
Rosita?
Well, I'm grateful. I was longing to help Vivian, and the Lord has set up a different scenario, completely different. I mean, when she left, it was like, so am I going to be alone here, Vivian? You know, I really need you. And as you said previously, it's true. Sometimes you don't know how to start, but we have a clear goal here, and it is to help people, just giving a little push, handing them, you know, the fishing rod and helping them in whatever ways we can to just, you know, it's like when you start walking or, you know, riding a bicycle with those little wheels, and we'll just push. I mean, and the Lord will provide. I mean, he always does. So he'll provide on wisdom, on will, on plenty of love, mercy, and of course, whatever, you know, material needs we need. I mean, he is providing, and, you know, he's just so great. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for inviting me, Heather, Vivian. So that's all I can tell you. Thank you so much.
I have a final word on just kind of a reminder to us all, is that the things that we do, people are watching. And a lot of those are non-Christians. A lot of those are children. And we had the opportunity through Mochilas para el Éxito, through the churches, through bringing Mochilas para el Éxito is a backpack campaign to take backpacks into really impoverished schools. And through giving Christmas presents or whatever, is that we tried not to miss the opportunity to inspire children that their lives could be different, and to push them a little bit more, study a little bit more English, work a little bit harder in school. You know, you have a future before you. And if being able to be in someone's home, in their community, and to be able to, for kids to be able to see, I want to be able to do something with my future. Just to have a different scenario in their community, I hope it makes a huge difference to the children. And in this case, to Ezekiel and Sofia's children, and to others like in the church, Iglesia Bautista, the Baptist Church Ebenezer in that community, that the kids see that there is a whole world out there that is waiting for them, and they need to work towards whatever opportunities they have before them, rather than to say, I live in poverty, there's nothing else I can do. There's hope.
There is hope. And thank you, ladies, for what you are doing. Again, if you want to support this cause, either by giving or praying or both, or sharing, you know, stepping in and just sharing this campaign and this video will also help this campaign, because it just gets the word out that there's a need. And what is $3,000? You know, some people are spending that on one kid for Christmas, you know, and so this could be their whole livelihood of helping them for their whole family for years to come to provide. And so GiveSendGo.com/Ezekiel and Sofia, or Ezekiel and Sofia, EZEKIEL and Sofia, SOFIA, and you can find there more about their story there. There's some updates. You can look there, you can scroll through some pictures and really connect with what they're doing. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming on today to the GiveSendGo Spotlight. I love hearing what God is doing all around the world.
Thank you very much.
You.
Have a blessed day. Shine brightly.